Hello, my name is Lorraine from D32 Business Network, and I've got the absolute pleasure of this morning speaking with Shaun Lawson, who is your business loan guy. Love the name, Shaun. How are you going?
Hey Lorraine, good morning. Yeah, thanks for having me on. I'm really quite looking forward to this. As you know, I'm a bit of a chatter, so I'm sure we'll have to try and cut this off perhaps before the end.
Me too. Yeah.
Good
So that
stuff.
we so just for the listeners, we're going to talk about you and your business, how you got into business loans, and then also we're going to talk about because you're a new circle builder for
Yes.
D32 Business Network and Wanneroo, and I'd love to learn, why was that important to you? Why did you embark on that? How
Mhm.
do businesses benefit from that? But first of all, your business loan guy, did you
Yeah,
manage to get that URL?
I did. I did. I
Yeah.
did. With .com.au and just .com, so I've got it covered on both sides. So
That's
yes, I did.
beautiful.
Surprisingly, nobody had it. I don't know how, but yeah, I was very
There's
happy.
nothing worse, is there? You come up with this great idea, you think it's a great unique idea, and you just can't get the URL. So well done on that one.
Yeah, thank you. Cheers. Yep.
So, Shaun, we've known you for a few years,
Mm,
under different guises,
correct.
um, and now you've branched out on your own. Give me a snapshot of the journey. How did you end up where you are?
Well, it's a long journey. July 1994, I joined the NAB as a teller, turning
Yep.
19 the next day. They paid you by age back then, so it was different sort of setup.
Yep.
16 years later, I left there, did a couple of other banks, and then went out on my own back then. So that's 10 plus years ago. But my wife, Tanya, at the time was running Wen Law, a family law firm, and she was dying for help. And I ended up being her right hand person, so to speak.
Yep.
And we grew that business up to nine. So we won't delve into too much detail on that, but because she got on well last year. So I want to make this a positive podcast.
Yep.
But now I've sort of gone back to what I know, the well of my knowledge and information. And at the same time, I've been so busy networking the last 10
Yep.
years. I'm sort of glad to be out there again, helping myself and helping our family sort of grow from that perspective. So yeah, there's a
Yeah,
long background there
fantastic.
in finance and a lot in people, which we can delve into a little bit.
And so you've been really specific there on business loans.
Yeah, look, I think the majority of people that are in finance know how to write a home loan. Every broker knows how to write a home loan. But my
Yeah.
background was in commercial lending for probably 10 of my 20-year bank career. So that was
Yeah.
in the larger end up to 20 million space. But of course, along the way, you write every size facility that is needed for your clients. And I
Mhm.
thought my skill set really, and I've been in if I'm allowed to mention it, the Wanneroo Business Association for the last
Yeah, of course.
14 years, and I'm on the board there and was treasurer. So I'm already trying to help business in that way with my experience. And I thought,
Yeah.
what else do I know? I know people, and I love people, and I love chatting, but my core knowledge is about helping business grow. And
Yeah.
that's where your business loan guy came out. There's so many different names out there. I've got some good friends that are in the industry with some awesome businesses, but their business or company name doesn't reflect what they do. So I try to keep it simple. What do I do?
Yeah.
Your business loan guy. All
Yeah.
right. And as you say, when the URL was available, I was, wow, I can't believe no one thought of
Delighted.
this.
Yeah.
So thankfully, my IT guy got stuck into that and locked it away, and we were good to go.
Beautiful.
But,
I can
but
really
yeah.
appreciate that as well. So, we were District 32 for 10 years.
Mm,
And then when we were talking to potential franchise partners, they were saying, what does District 32 mean? Just because it's got a story here, we're not going to spend thousands of dollars putting District 32 on a van, right? It
mm,
doesn't say what it does in the tin,
mm.
So we had to change it to D32 Business Network. So I can really appreciate, you know, the value of having it say what's in the tin. It
Yeah,
makes life a
absolutely.
whole lot easier.
Well, absolutely. I mean, what's your company name? Your business loan guy. Oh, so you do business loans then? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, and like I said, obviously I can do it all. So normally when you're assisting someone with a business loan, typically that may mean it might be a cash flow business where there's no links to residential security, but more often than not, there is. So, of course, I can do everything. I can write the home loan, the investment loan, but my core want to help people is business owners and any needs that spin from that. So,
So what's
I can.
sorry, I was just going to dive into that a little bit more, Shaun. What sort of problems do business owners have trying to get cash and loans? Because we've got a different set of problems.
Yeah, look at every business owner is busy running their own business. And as you know, when I was helping Tanya with the law firm, I've been in there and run a business myself. So I understand all the problems they have. And half of it is time. They're managing their staff, trying to find staff, trying to just work out what the best way to keep alive their business and make sure there's enough money coming in. And they don't have time to understand what the bank offerings are, what they can do, how many options there are. I'm actually astounded going back into it after 20 plus years in the past, how many more options there are now that people just wouldn't know about. Cash flow and spending money in the right way is one of the biggest problems that people face because they just don't know where to go and what to do. So that's why you turn to someone like myself that knows all the answers. And the best thing is, as a finance broker, the banks pay me. So my time is, I'm not allowed to use the word free, but my time is about just you're accessing my knowledge to solve those issues without actually having to pay me a cent. So really my job is to talk to people and get them to know me and to understand me and making sure I'm coming from the right place, which, as you know, having known me for a long time, is probably my skill set. I'm very, very easy to get along with, I'd like to think. I don't know, not always perhaps, but 99% of the time, I'm just a relaxed guy that's been around business for a long time. And there's a lot of things whirring around up here that there's not too many situations that I haven't come across. And I just want to give that help to people.
Yeah, because business owners, as well as having the issues of the business in general, right, which is another topic, but business owners can sometimes run into trouble trying to get cash from the bank.
Yeah.
So what are some of the common mistakes or pitfalls or things that business owners don't know about? So for example, just having low documentation or in the startup phase, what sort of troubles can they run into?
Oh yeah, we could be here all day on that one. The biggest one is a lack of understanding of what the banks look at and how they assess their credit. Okay, so there's, depending on the size of what's being assessed, there's a lot of things that the banks do first look at, and the purpose of the fund. What's it for? Are we lending the money in the right way? Is it are you trying to buy a car through your overdraft? Are you managing your debtors correctly? Who are you as a person? One of the biggest things banks look at is your reputation and your reputational risk to them. I was taught by my old managers in the past to read the paper every day before I started my job, basically to try and make sure my clients went in there.
Yeah, okay.
All right. It's simple little things like that you don't understand happens behind the scenes. And I can talk to you about make sure you're doing this, making sure you're keeping your bank accounts clean. If you're doing drawings, don't take them out of the business account. Pay them to yourself. Do it the right way. Because the bank is all powerful these days in what they see and what they can do. And technology, AI, rips your accounts to shreds straight away. So if you don't know what they're looking for, you can make some mistakes and that might stop you being able to get funding. All right. So there's some simple things you can do to just make your life a lot easier to get funding. But it comes back to the core principles of, and I'm going to be boring here, talk about banking, primary and secondary exits. The primary exit, how is the bank getting repaid? Your cash flow. Is the actual cash flow? And secondary exit, if something goes wrong, how's the bank getting its money back? And that could be security. It could be it's quite a big business and you've got a pile of debtors and maybe debtor finance or the old factoring, as we used to call it in the day, is potentially an issue, an option for you.
Yeah.
There's so many different things. Again, we could be here all day, but there's my submissions used to be sort of 10 pages long talking about the business and who are they? What are we doing? Do people have they considered insurance over the key people and that sort of stuff? So again, there's a lot that I could, and that's um, just out
I
of my
think
brain off the top of my head.
I think that's why it's really good to go to a broker though, right? Because
Yeah,
if you go to the bank and you get a knockback, you then got a black mark on your name to say, have you ever been refused credit? And you can say no, just by making a simple mistake. When we come through you, you can help us to clean up stuff so there's first less chance of getting a knockback in the first place, but
yeah,
also, yeah, just getting the best deal, the best options,
and
and not getting refused. Mm.
yeah, and every banks have different sweet spots and niches. Okay, so as I said, I've worked for two or three banks, and that's just back in the day when brokers weren't as prevalent as they are now. And I would think, okay, I can't beat that on price, or I can't beat that on conditions. Every bank has a different type of client that they want within reason. So
Yeah,
my job is to know, and there's sort of 30 odd on my panel, and I can go up to 70.
yeah,
So if there's someone that will do that particular type of lend, I don't just have to put it at a NAB or a Westpac or your main bank that you're through. Um, there's no real loyalty in banking anymore, not so much.
yeah,
Because if anything, that bank knows more about you than they should. So
mm,
so another bank might be more likely to understand you because you're new and they want your business.
yeah,
But I guess for me, I can go, okay, that scenario fits this bank, that scenario fits this bank, and because I've been around long enough, I know most of the state managers and the high up guys that have been around because they were my compatriots 10 years ago. So
yeah,
now stepping back into what I used to do, they're all top end people, so I can sort of get through the chaff of the person you're dealing with and escalate it to someone that actually understands a bit more, if need
yeah,
be, to get to the decision maker. The
yeah,
person that goes, hey, I really want your business. I trust Shaun. I know Shaun. This is the story. Because that's what you are as a broker. Really, you're a storyteller. You're telling the story of the business. So my job is to get to know the client, have a coffee, have a wine, do whatever I've got to do to get to know them so that when I'm telling the story of that business, I've got all the answers, or at least most of them, to keep the bank
yeah.
comfortable. And I love it.
You're
I love
certainly in
sitting
your
around
element.
and yeah. As I said, I love a chat and I love it. I love just getting to know business owners.
Yeah,
That's in my DNA.
yeah. Well, beautiful. I'm sure you're gonna do very well. That way when you're just aligned. You're in line, you're aligned, you're in flow, you're doing what you're meant to be doing. Magic
Yeah,
happens, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, and look, I generally just my wife Tanya's always saying, Shaun, you're out there like 5 times a day. You're visiting this person, you're doing that, and I'm going, yeah, but I'm enjoying it. I'm not
Mm,
working. I am, but I'm
yeah.
not. If you know what I mean. I'm just getting out there, having a chat, and after this, I've got a one-on-one with someone, and then I'm filling in um, um, at the Hillary Circle. I'm just getting out there doing my thing.
Beautiful. So you're going to Hillary's today. That's fantastic. Well, you get a
Yeah.
beautiful lunch and a beautiful venue, ocean views there.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen that one yet, so mind you, I'll be there at the Maximizer in a couple of days as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll see you there.
Yep.
Yeah, but so you're out there networking like a machine as well, Shaun.
Yes.
And as I mentioned at the start of this podcast, you've recently become a circle builder
Yeah.
within the D32 Business Network. And just for people listening, that's an opportunity to build your own circle, your own community. So if you're a leader, you're passionate about people, you're passionate about networking, you're passionate about business, then you can build your own community and you go into partnership with D32. And you've done that in Wanneroo.
Correct.
So what made you say yes to that, Shaun? What made you take the take the steps, take action? What?
Well, yeah. Well, I guess as I said, I've spent the last sort of 14 years networking anyway around small business, and I was previously part of the Joondalup Circle for a couple of years there, so I understand how it works. And it was just when um, I guess the law firm had reached a peak point where I couldn't get there anymore. I couldn't commit to the time. I stepped out back then, but obviously starting my own business now, I reached out to Dean and said, "Look, let's catch up for a coffee." I said, "Oh, I was thinking about rejoining Joondalup or maybe just coming back into the fold." And he mentioned, look, have you heard about the circle in a box? And I've gone, no, what's that? And 20 minutes later, I walked out of that meeting going, I think that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
It literally came from nowhere. And I've gone, this is the perfect fit for me. I'm already on a board and at a different setup with a business association. I love people. This is essentially going to be something that I can assist in growing locals in my area. It's and I know how it works, and I know the benefit that you can get from it. And realistically, I mean, it's a time impost, but what you get out of it can be fivefold, tenfold in terms of, certainly a starting business. An existing one that's already got some networks will potentially grow even further. So just the idea of starting my own one as the quiet little guy that I am, just really resonated with me, to the point where, one of my other board members from the WBA is, as you know, joining me as a circle leader. So I'm hoping that's sort of an idea of the influence that I can have on my local community and try and help them and build that circle up to, you told me in the past it was the biggest one. So I've got a bit of a challenge there to try and match that in sort of 12 months time. Let's see where we sit. But look, I just love people. I really look at life. Everything is about people. Okay. You can be the smartest person in the room. You could be someone that's not that way inclined, but really just loves doing what they do. It's district or D32. I nearly said it myself there. Is for everyone. It's just there's different ways to skin the cat of getting information and getting knowledge and getting growth out of your business and personally. And I'm just really stoked to be part of that.
Oh, we're stoked to have you. You're already a leader. You tick all the boxes on business and people and chatting and networking. And what I loved, because, when I started networking a long, long time ago, I was always, or even before networking, I was a business coach and I specialized in marketing strategy. And my thinking was, if I have to learn this stuff anyway for business, I may as well make that my business. So I did. I made that my business. I'll become an advisor on marketing strategy. And then thought, well, I've got to network to grow my business and get leads and clients and opportunities. I may as well make that my business. So there's definitely I love it when there's a double benefit there. If you're going to network anyway, you may as well be out there and make it a business. You're going to be spending the time anyway.
Yeah, and that's part of what Circle in the Box is, as you created. To me, that was just the added bonus. I'm going to do this anyway. I can make it a bit more bespoke to locals rather than Joondalup. It's close. That's just around the corner for me. But I know those guys already. They know me, or most of them.
That's right.
There's a few that have changed, but it's just a way to help. It really is. That's how I look at this, as just a way to help businesses grow. And if I looked at my networking skills 20 years ago when I was in banks, they were non-existent.
No.
and still as a banker, you have to sell yourself, because every bank can pretty much do the same thing. You go to a NAB, you go to a CBA, you go wherever. It's all very similar. There's similar products, similar pricing. At NAB, I could approve it myself, but it wasn't as cheap as others. And others, their pricing was fantastic, but you had to go to credit. So there's different ways of different places that you go. But I think the last 10 years, my genuine love of networking, again, and that comes back to people, has just gone through the roof. And I'm still excited by it, to be honest, because I'm happy. I'm getting back in there. I've had a year off to see the world and do what I've got to do. And now it's time to put my foot back down again and crack in.
Beautiful. Well, I think we can see what's in store for you in the next 1 to 3 years. You're just growth, and happy and enjoying doing it. So I'll ask you a couple of questions then, Shaun. What is the
Sure.
So one, what would be your biggest networking tip for people?
Networking tip. Just everyone has a fear to some extent inside them about walking up and talking to people, right? If you walk up and introduce yourself, no one's going to turn around and look down their nose at you or go, who are you? Just bite the bullet, swallow your nerves and walk up and say, hey, how you going? It sounds easy, but it's not for some people. So I think that's something I can certainly help people with
Okay.
and get through their fears a little bit there, is in just bite the bullet and go do it. And once you've done it once or twice, you
Natural.
find it just easier getting. It's like anything. Like my son's in his third year doing some diesel mechanics, and he said, "Dad, we're going to go service that car next week. We've got an old banger in the back of our house." And I went,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's not really my thing." And I thought about what I just said to you then about just go do it. If you just do it, you'll get more confident at it.
That's right.
Right. Everything about life is confidence in what you're doing. I'm super confident in banking because I've done it for 25 years. I know it like going for a walk. Okay.
And
So
what's your biggest tip then for people who are looking for a loan?
biggest seat with someone going for a loan is don't just be careful about what spending your money on. If you're thinking about borrowing some money, come and speak to someone like me and go, "This is what I want to do in 2 months, 3 months now." And I go, "Right, let's have a look at your accounts. What can we clean up? What can we do? What can we make sure you're not showing things like, are you taking $500 out every Friday night from your business account?"
Yeah.
Right? You think you're hiding that from the bank. The bank knows you're either putting it on the trots or at the casino or going to Liquorland and betting your next month's supply. Okay. Don't take cash out of your business account. If you're going to do it, transfer it to yourself and take cash out. All right. So the bank sees all. Unfortunately, technology now is fantastic, and I love the tech that's there. But just think about what you're doing. If the bank's going to see it. All right. And so just be careful about what you're doing.
Okay.
If you want to borrow.
Last question. So imagine you are going to depart this earth today and you've only got one message for the whole of humanity. What would it be?
Be your authentic self. All right. But it's all, again, it's about people. Life is about people. If I was to depart this earth tomorrow, I know that I've spent the last year, had a nice holiday, and then I've become, I know who I am now. Be yourself, because everyone's different. No one really looks down on anyone. The world is so diverse now. Just be yourself. So if something happened to you tomorrow, you know that you are still acting and doing as you wanted, not what the world wanted you to be.
Shaun, thank you very much for sharing your time with me today. You're an absolute pleasure to work with, talk with, interview. And I look forward to, I think you set yourself a challenge there on Wanneroo being the biggest. So we'll watch this space and we'll see you on another podcast.
We will. We'll be cracking in, absolutely.
I've got absolutely no doubts whatsoever. But anyway, Shaun, thank you very much. Thank you for introducing yourself. Lovely to speak with you, and we'll see you on the next podcast. Or I'll see you myself at the Maxi, but the listeners here might see you on the next podcast. So if anybody needs any business loans information, or if you're in Wanneroo and looking for networking, we'll put all the details of that down below. How to contact Shaun, how to reach out, and be your authentic self.
Cheers. Thanks, Lorraine. Appreciate it.
See you later, Shaun.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.